You're not saying hi. Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to this CTFO webinar. My name is Adam Levy. So glad you could join us this evening for Tuesday Night Live. We do it every Tuesday night live, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Glad you could join us. If you're catching this on the replay, put in the comments that you're hearing it on replay. We'd appreciate that. Well, guys, there are a lot of exciting things going on today in CTFO with the launch of Xantho Mist. Hopefully, everybody is getting their twist and mist on. Over the last couple of days, these have been showing up in a lot of people's homes. And hopefully you're doing the unboxing. Please make sure that you go to your back office and find out how to do an unboxing correctly. Something you could do for social media that will go a long way in creating the buzz about Twist and Miss. So that document is in your back office. Also, this past Super Saturday, Evelyn Monroe did an incredible job. She went over some pointers on it. On doing an unboxing when you get your Twist and Mist, when you get your Xantho Mist. And so that was really good. And you can catch the replay over at the company's Facebook page, the community page for CTFO. Anyway, we've got some great things to cover tonight. I've got Craig Davis who's going to be joining us momentarily. Before we do, however, actually, you know what? I think I want to do that first. And then I want to get to Al and I want to get to Cowboy because I want you to hear this story because you know, it's amazing. You hear about Ted Wilson and how fast he's grown in the company, and people always want to know, well, who's the lucky guy that that enrolled Ted, you know, and how did that happen, and how do you find a Ted, and all that kind of stuff, right? That always seems to come up, and I will tell you a little bit about the chaos of network marketing in a little bit. But before we do, I have our resident nurse on the line, Mr. Craig Davis. Craig, how are you tonight?
Good. Thank you, Adam, for having me on. I'm Craig Davis. For some of you that don't know me, I'm an RN with a BSN and a CLNC, which is Certified Legal Nurse Consultant. And I've been in the industry of nutrition for about 30 years. In 1994, I was about 2 years into my marriage. And my wife had a minor whiplash injury and a failed surgery. She was also a nurse and retired in 1994 because of that failed surgery. So been on a quest for basically since 1994 for nutritional products that'll help her. Today, bless her heart, she's not in a wheelchair. She's able to walk. As a matter of fact, this morning, it was about 80 degrees out and we did 6 miles along the beach. So it's been a good ride as far as finding nutritional products. And along the way, what we find out is that we need to stay compliant. All right. I'm also a retired federal nurse. And the worst thing you can hear from anybody say is, "Hi, I'm from the government and I'm here to help." So what I want to talk about quickly is staying in compliance, because as we grow exponentially, and you've seen with Al and then Ted Wilson coming in and the great work that he's doing in, you know, several weeks, and we're just in the beginning of this Xantho Mist. This is a breakthrough technology, something that I've never seen in my 30 years. None of you have seen either. As a matter of fact, it's so new, it's only about 2 months old, and we have it in our hands right here, right now. I can say without a doubt, I've been using the cream and the gummies, also the coffee, because of the CBD. I can pretty much drink a coffee in the morning and be good for the rest of the day. My background, I've got a plate and 12 screws in my wrist. I've got 4 bolts in my back like my wife, but she's also got interspinous wires in her neck. So we're both the Energizer bunnies. If somebody says I've got gasoline and it's going to help you, we'll drink it. We've been there, we've done that. But on the same token, people will start saying things that are not correct. So how do you stay compliant? Biggest number one thing is just use the tools that the company gives you. The company has our websites that are self-replicating. You can go in there and copy and paste anything that's in the website and send it off. What happens is if somebody says, oh, I was drinking that mangosteen and my cousin had cancer and they got all better. And the next thing you know, somebody's repeating that. And anytime you make a medical claim with your product like this, you're going to get into trouble. So stay away from making any medical claims. If you say something like Alzheimer's or bowel blockage or cancers, diabetes, endometriosis, fibrosis, gastrointestinal bleed, you get my point. Anytime you can see something that's in a medical dictionary, stay away from those claims because it'll get us all in trouble. Back in 2006, I'll just read this real quick. There was a juice company that the FDA sent them a letter that said that they illegally used marketing materials to promote mangosteen juice, claiming more than 20 human health benefits, including anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, antifungal, antiviral, anti-cancer, anti-ulcer, rhinoviral, and anti-allergic effects. Promotional literature for the product cites antioxidants from the inedible pericarp of the fruit as providing health benefits. None of these claims, however, has scientific proof established by peer-reviewed research and human clinical trials, as discussed below. Well, guess what, folks? If you go to pubmed.org and you Google within or do a search for mangosteen xanthones, you'll find about 414 peer-reviewed research. Now, if you go to Google itself and Google mangosteen xanthones, you're going to get somewhere about tenfold of that because there's going to be a lot of written reviews. The core of the research was done in about a 10-year block, which was beyond that 2006. So those people were really on the cutting edge, but they didn't have any research to back it up. Well, I've been posting on my Facebook page just about daily a research article that any of you can refer to. My Facebook page is facebook.com/Craig Davis RN, real easy. And you can go there if we're not already friends and copy and paste those articles and send them off. What you don't want to do is hook that article to this product. As long as you're talking about mangosteen juice and the research that is done, voila, no problem. You're telling people, here's the research that the doctors have done. Okay, I'm just the nurse, but I'm showing you what the doctors have researched. But when you hook it to the mangosteen or the xantho mist, that's where you get into problems. So don't ever put the two together. Always refer to the research and then just say, oh, by the way, we have a mangosteen mister that is 5,000 parts per million versus 1.5 parts per million for that juice that everybody thought was so great.
Question for you, Craig. I wanted to bring up, you're mentioning some really important things because we've seen what happens when companies get into trouble making claims.
Right.
When we tell people to go Google xanthones, for instance, as long as we tell them to go do that as part of their research, go Google xanthones so you know what the potential of xanthones are. We're pretty safe doing that. Is that accurate?
That's correct. As long as you're showing them research, because that's the science that backs it up for why we have this product. You can hear David D'Arcangelo talk about that and use those videos that David has done. Even the Q&A that you did, Adam, with David was great. and send that to people, because where you have the problem is when you say, like, okay, in my case, there's an article that says mangosteen juice is really great for hepatitis C. Well, I was diagnosed with hepatitis C back in the 90s, and I was on and off treatment for 7 years. And the research has said that during treatment for hep C, it would be a good idea to drink mangosteen juice. Well, gee whiz, I wish I would have known that back in the 90s, but hey, we didn't have that research back then. And today, if I was going through hepatitis C treatment, I would definitely be using this as well. But you can't connect the two. Always keep them separate. And then one other thing, don't think that you can use that FDA disclaimer. The statement has not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease, and make some stupid claim. Because Adam and I and several of you were in that other juice company that Kevin was in. And I can tell you for a fact, I had patients, because I was doing dark field microscopy with those people as well. And they had stage 4 cancer, drank the juice, and they're still here today. Okay. Stage 4 cancer is pretty much get your attorney to give you your last will and testament and get your life in order, because you're going to check out here pretty soon. But there again, you can't say, hey, if you use this, you're going to get cured from
XYZ
cancer. Exactly. Always keep the two separate. And there's plenty of research now, which, like I say, back in 2006, when the FDA came after this other juice company, there wasn't the research to support the claims that there are now. I mean, I've done Alzheimer's, depression, Parkinson's, hepatitis C. There's a strong indication that it would help COVID. Of course, they haven't any studies on this, but it's also, quote, an antiviral. I tell anybody that's got, long COVID symptoms, hey, try this for 30 days and see if you don't feel better.
Wow. Well, Craig, incredible amount of information. I know you've been doing a lot of research. I've been watching your posts, and always a lot to learn from them, because, look, you Google xanthones and you're going to come up with a dozen sites or so that you'll click on and have time for. And, we're blown away by all the things that this mangosteen does. And as you point out, that 10-year span on those studies were basically done on a juice. And that juice was providing 1.5 parts per million of the active ingredient, the xanthones. We're now providing 5,000 parts per million. Testimonies aren't in yet, because everybody just got one of these, right? But what do you think they're going to look like? And so we appreciate you taking the time out to make sure everybody is staying compliant and not out, saying the wrong things out in public, or, posting on social media and things of that nature.
Right, because it's real easy now on social media to copy and paste things, and you have to stop and think just for a moment, what's the origin of this that I'm copying and pasting? Is it coming from, the CTFO website? Is it coming from PubMed and it's a research article? Good. Just don't link the two, because the only research that we have on this at this particular moment is the fact that there's 5,000 parts per million versus 1.5 or 7.5 parts per million with a capsule.
Fantastic. Craig, I appreciate it again for you taking the time out and educating on us on that. And you talk about is true about the science. I did talk to Stuart Finger yesterday. they are working right now on some third-party articles and science papers to be written up. They're being written up right now. The things are taking longer than they'd like because they're waiting for different kinds of lab reports to come in. They kind of want to compile them and tell the whole story and how this is so unique. All I can say is be patient. You guys are all really early. That's the bottom line. Right. You guys are like way early. Like, this just showed up at my house like a day ago, way early. So just know that stuff will be there, and it will be more than impressive when it does. And for those prospects that are like, hey, I need to see the science before I'm even going to look at this. And there are those out there that are like that. That's fine. Just keep them posted. Send them a video here and there. Let them know what's going on. But just know that, when that comes out, be ready, because those people are going to jump on board in a heartbeat. I can just tell you that. It's going to be pretty amazing. So again, thanks, Craig. Appreciate that. Yeah.
With regards to compliance, there used to be a compliance document in your back office. It isn't now. I've been in contact with Leah, who's our compliance officer. She sent me what suspiciously looked like the document that used to be in there. Yeah. But for right now, they don't have one. Just pretty much maintain that. If any of you ever have any questions about it, just text me, shoot me an email. I'll be fine. I'm on Messenger. Awesome. And then sometime going forward, we'll do one on how to put together your testimonial so that you stay in compliance. And then there again, don't make those things. I was on the operating room table and they gave me an IV of that juice, and then I was cured.
Craig Davis, everybody.
And you'll be going to jail before the day's over.
All right, guys. So I want to shift gears. Thanks so much for that, Craig. That was a lot of fun. And of course, it's so important to be in compliance. But I have a couple of people on the line here that I'd like to say hi to, and it's Al Diaz and Doug Glaze, or lovingly known as Cowboy. We just got Cowboy's Zoom hooked up today. Cowboy, how are you doing tonight?
Hey, we're doing good.
Look at Al laughing. That's okay, Al. I got a joke for you too. So briefly, let me just welcome these guys to the team call. We do this every Tuesday night. Al's been on and off of this team call for the last 4 years, right? Every time we have a weight loss product of some sort come out, Al pops up. I'm going to win the contest, and he shows up, right, Al? 100%. So, but we're so glad that that you guys are here, and obviously just an amazing growth that you guys are having in your organization. And I thought we do have about 10 minutes left. I want to kind of just give people some idea of the chaos of what can happen in our industry, and just to let you know that you're one person away. You're one person away from completely changing your life in CTFO. You're just one person away, and you don't know where that person's going to come from. You don't know who that person knows, who that person knows, who that person knows. You just don't know, right? And about 4 years ago, Al and Cowboy were like, hey, we really should not miss this CBD thing. And I said, you might be right about that. I already have a position. I had actually joined the company a few years earlier. And so I enrolled Cowboy so he could enroll Al. And then I went out and proceeded to build a pretty sizable business and catch the CBD trend. And, Al, he, tried some product and, got distracted and did some other things. And Cowboy is making really great money in his traditional tree business. So, these guys have been, loyal friends for the longest time. And I know, Cowboy, you've been using the products for a good number of years as well. But I want to back up even further, because I remember the day, and I remember where I was, the three-way call that Cowboy and Al did with me for the very first time, where I met Al. And it was about 8 years ago. I was at a little taco stand with my family in New Paltz, New York. We were eating dinner, and my phone rang, and it was Cowboy. And he says, hey, I got a hot one. And we did this three-way call, and it was for our previous company we were in called Baranta. And I got to meet Al for the first time. So this was 8 years ago. okay, that this three-way happened. And, I could have not taken the call. I was with my family and all that. But, we tend to, as network marketers, aggravate our families and take calls in the middle of dinner and do that kind of stuff. Of course, now they're pretty thankful about that because of what's happening, right? And I always try to point that out and go, look, this could be the call. This could be the one, right? And so fast forward, here we are at the very beginnings of, the Xantho Mist, information that's available, and we start sending it out to folks. And I texted everybody. I messaged everybody I knew. I emailed them all. Everybody got to hear from me about something that was big that was coming. And when we heard that it was going to be the mangosteen, Al's ears perked up because Al was in Zango, right? And Al hadn't ordered from CTFO in a number of months. And he was like, hey, you know what? I'm pretty excited about this. I think I might have some people to talk to. And within a few weeks, he was able to get somebody on the phone with me that was really looking to start his own business, in the industry. He was going to start his own company. And that, of course, was Ted Wilson. And he was looking to do something with some kind of a nano emulsion of some sort with a formulation that he had, because he's got a master's in nutrition and science and food science. And here we are now, about 3 weeks from that three-way Zoom, Al, and tell us what's been happening since. And congratulations, Al, you're now a 3K.
Oh, thank you, and thank you so much. I just want to thank you and Cowboy for believing in me and never giving up on me. Me and Cowboy today, we're going 2018, 2019, 2020. We were just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And when I saw that message, mangosteen, I knew that was going to be fire, man. I just immediately got on the phone, called Cowboy. He didn't pick up, like always. He was on the cow. So, and so I called Adam, and Adam told me what it was. And I just said, okay, I'm all in, because I knew what mangosteen can do to your body. I knew when we started Zango, how it took off. They hit $1 billion. And the delivery system that we have is, incredible. So I knew we had something. And so since that moment, I made a couple of phone calls, sponsored my sponsor from Zango, Gary Columbus. And he's on fire. He has a bunch of people. He just hit manager 5. He's excited. And so he was really pushing for that. So we helped each other out, did a couple of 3-ways for him. But he's had a couple of big people, like Adam said, one person away, right? One person away. And he in reality, he is in the same shoes that I was when we first started. He's only just 2 people away from really changing his life. Because if he brings in those 2 people that he has, it's going to change his life forever. And it's just chaos. I mean, it's just been crazy, especially Ted Wilson. I mean, we were on the phone yesterday, and he said, oh, now I got 31 days. I thought we were going to be finished on March the 9th, but now I got all the way to the 12th. I'm going to hit 50K. I'm going, all right, let's go for it. So, what's happening with me is that I have to get on that Cowboy horse and really, really move fast to catch up with them, That's where I'm at. So, but it's exciting. It's really, really been an exciting ride. And this is just the beginning. And the only thing I'm going to say is never, never, never close the door on a no. They say no. They just no at that time. Ted Wilson, I've known him for 11 years. We've always talked about network marketing all the time. Talked about different businesses and so on. And it was just the right timing, the right moment in his life, and for him to see it. And we just don't know. Gary Columbus the same way. Gary Columbus, I've talked to him a couple of times about different companies, and when I showed him about mangosteen, he didn't even hesitate. Gary Columbus didn't even hesitate because he knew the history of mangosteen. So I just want to thank you, Adam and Cowboy, for introducing me and keeping the belief in me. I appreciate it.
Al, thank you so much. Congratulations on again hitting 3K. What an incredible, inspirational story. And yeah, it's just amazing what's going on. Your volume is going through the roof right now, and you just need another strong person or leg that's going to just keep up, right? And you'll ride this thing all the way to the top of the plan. Cowboy Doug Lay is the man who does more three-way calls than anyone in CTFO, guaranteed nonstop. That's the way it is. Cowboy, how are you tonight?
Hey, buddy, what's going on?
You're looking good, my friend. Listen, here you are. You started the month out, or I should say 3 weeks ago. You were a loyal customer. You had your traditional tree business. You make really great money in that business, and your volume was, barely any volume, and now you're in excess of 20,000 in volume in just a couple of weeks. Obviously, having the Al egg is doing well, but you have some other great stuff that's going on. What do you see here for yourself, and where do you see this thing going?
Well, it's a funny story. We had tragic. We lost my daughter. My father-in-law sitting here in hospice care, and probably another week at the most. But I still go to that 6 to 7 out in the man cave and make them calls and do three ways. But it's the first time in our life we have a rocket ship to the top in anything we've ever done. And I looked at my start date, and it was 2018. So I must be a slow learner, and I wasn't all CBD guy. It just wasn't me. I have friends that are truckers. I had a little fear. What if they took a urine test and it showed? It just something about it. I like it. I love the products, but I didn't have the same share it like this mist is share. The first week to have 2 Royals on the team is unheard of. And then when you mention Kevin Fournier, if they did Zango, they'll say, I want in before you get off the call. If they know Kevin Fournier from Goji, they'll get in before you get off the call. And I always throw those 2 triggers out there. And then the 3-way call, guys. I know it's old. You can ask Adam. Cowboy don't even have an email. It goes to my wife. I'm low tech. I'm not high tech. I talk to people. And it's a numbers game. You talk to 100 people, he talks to 5, you're going to enroll more people. And you don't have to know the comp plan, just keep enrolling, things are going to happen. But, Adam, I want to thank you for always answering the phone, for the friendship. Al cracks me up. I told him tonight, I said, what'd you do in 2018? Nothing. 2019, nothing. 2021, nothing. 22, nothing. 23, bam. But he knows he was always, I treated him as good as he's going to treat Ted Wilson. And he was our friend. And he said, and I said, I need a silver bullet product. And 2 weeks later, bam, we get it. I think February 10th, we're almost 25,000. We're 1,000 away on the weak side from 10K. And you got something in your hand that is going to change lives through health and wealth.
Cowboy, fantastic. Appreciate you. And I got to tell you, it's been really a lot of fun getting to play with you again at the level that you like to play. And yeah, I'll always pick up the phone for you. No question about that.
I got to say one thing, guys. For 5 years, Adam be wanting Cowboy to engage. And I'll say, Debbie, did Adam call you today? Yep. Adam does the backdoor approach. He knocks on the back door, they let him in, and he's at your dinner table when you walk in. And if he didn't get me on the phone, he got Debbie on the phone. So, you plowed the fields to get to where you're at.
Appreciate that, Cowboy, and congratulations to Debbie too, because I know she does a lot of the back end work to make Cowboy look good. So I appreciate her as well, and really sorry to hear about your father-in-law, but I'm sure he'll be in a better place soon enough, and it'll just free you up to be able to do all the things you want to do here. And I know that you guys are going all the way. So, hey guys, thank you so much for hopping on tonight. This has been Tuesday Night Live. Adam Levy from Canton, Connecticut, where we got a little bit of snow finally. Winter is finally here. And I got to tell you, there's always a good corporate webinar on at 9 p.m. ctfowebinar.com on Tuesday nights. You want to be plugging into that as well and catch all the calls at ctfowebinar.com from corporate. They're all listed there. Anything else I wanted to point out? The new Xantho report on your websites has been updated. Check that out. It's got some additional details, and just watch for all the updates. Things are going to keep getting updated. That video that they came out with, phenomenal video. That's the first draft. They're going to keep adding to that and tweaking it and making it even better. But it's just going to keep getting better, folks. It's really early. Take advantage of this timing. You'll only have it once in your lifetime. But remember this, you're just one person away from changing your life forever. And finally, you've got something that can attract those types of people. Everybody have a great night. Bye-bye for now.
Awesome. Good night.